Hello there, welcome back to Doing It with Jason. I'm Jason, and today we're going to be talking about how to charge for your woodwork, cabinet making, things that you created for people that aren't related to you. Let's get started.
Doing it with Jason.
So I've been building cabinets for about 14 years now for customers and clients. I have written thousands of estimates to customers, and not one of them included an hourly rate. Charging a customer by the hour is impossible to calculate. There is not a universal scale of what one carpenter or woodworker is compared to another one. Like Joe could be worth $100 an hour and has been doing this for 30 years versus Bill, who's been doing it for 3 years and may actually even be faster than Joe. Or was it Chris? Anyhow, there's no magic formula for hourly rate. There's so many variables that make an hourly rate complete. Before I tell you what the magic formula is to charging a customer, let's explore the hourly rate fiasco. So one way charging a customer by the hour is garbage, is that you cannot predict mistakes. No matter if you've been doing what you do for 5 years, 10 years, 2 years, 30 years, you're gonna make a mistake. You cannot charge that customer for that mistake. And if you think you can, then I think you're garbage. Say the wood you ordered came in off the truck, you're starting to unload it, and you got 400 feet of poplar. As you're unloading it and putting it into your shop, you realize like half the pieces are warped or just really funky and have knots everywhere and a lot of checking that you were not expecting, and you can't even work with half of it. Do you charge your customer that 3 to 4 hours that it took you to unload all that wood, put it in your shop, realize it's messed up, call the distributor, put that wood back onto the truck, still on the phone with the distributor complaining that I am not accepting this, and then have to reorder it from another distributor, and gosh, hopefully that wood comes in okay. You can't charge your customer for that. That's hours you lost. How do you make up for that? Easy. You charge the customer by the job. How do you figure out how to charge a customer by the job? Well, there's many ways, and we're going to get to those. Reason number 2 why you cannot charge your customer by the hour. Say you get sick, you catch a cold, you've got a ton of kids running around, school just started, you're not feeling too hot, you still have to work, you're self-employed now. Do I charge the customer that same hourly rate that I was going to charge them because I feel under the weather and I'm half as good as I normally am when I'm not feeling sick? Absolutely not. Seriously, do you still think you could charge the customer by the hour? You have to clean up your shop, keep it organized, and ready for the next day. Do you charge your customer an hour for your cleanup? Heck no. Number one thing is be honest. Put an hour cleanup that you're charging them for whatever amount of money, $100 an hour. See what they say. If your customer's down with it, sure, charge them by the hour. You found a magic customer. Those are rare. Kidding. Don't do that. You're taking advantage of your customer. So most of you watching this video and looking up how to charge a customer by the hour probably are new to woodworking. And that is another reason why you should not charge the customer by the hour. The customer is not paying you to learn woodworking to build their piece of furniture or their cabinet or whatever you are making for them. Now, there's absolutely nothing wrong with learning woodworking and starting out woodworking and still being a beginner woodworking and charging for your work. But once again, charging by the hour is completely baloney, garbage. There's 1,000 different reasons I can tell you why not to charge by the hour. And please, if you have any ideas or reasons why you think you should charge by the hour, then comment down below. I'd love to hear them. My mind isn't totally made up. No, it probably is. But still, I'd love to have the conversation. Okay, so charging a customer for a job is all about going from A to B. What is it going to take you to get from A to B? What do you think it's going to take you to get from A to B? And that's how you charge. Not how many hours it's going to take you to get to A to B, because that's different for everyone. So let's take example cabinetry. It's really easy to figure out how to charge a customer depending on your skill level. So charging a customer for your custom built cabinets is actually pretty easy. There's formulas everywhere, but depending on where you are located and where you live and what your net area worth is, you can easily adapt it to that. So a good rule of thumb to find out what cabinets are going for in your area is find a few similar cabinet makers like yourself that are doing everything custom and see what they're charging. If that means having a friend call for you and call the local competition and say, hey, I need a quote, let them come over to their house, let them quote out the kitchen, and then use what you find out and divide it by the linear foot of the cabinets. That's probably one of the easiest ways and the most safest ways that should cover all of your expenses and still yield you a good profit. So say cabinet X guy is going to charge $10,000 for that kitchen. And then you have another quote come in and cabinet B is going to charge $12,000 and cabinet C something around the same area. You're going to find that most pricing is going to be the same and very close depending on the style of the cabinet. As long as they're all bidding the same final result, you should be very similar. So take all those quotes, average them out, and then divide it by the linear foot of the space. You can do that in different ways. You can do the linear of base, the linear of uppers, and that way you can kind of get that nice little round out, hey, this is what they're charging per foot. And then when you find out, hey, it's $400 a linear foot, $500, $425, you can go from there when you're starting your business. So if you haven't reached your pinnacle of your career, start at kind of the middle, lower end of the scale, like maybe just $400 a linear foot. But if you feel the product you're offering is going to be lasting a lifetime, it is really awesome, it's smooth, the finish is amazing, you're doing everything to the best of your abilities, and you're getting a lot of, wow, hey, that looks good, then charge to the upper of that. So even go higher than those guys in the competition, because that's not going to hurt you any, especially if you already are getting work and it's coming in, no big deal. Don't be afraid to charge a little higher. Now, you're not going to charge the same amount of money for maple as you would walnut, but the amount of work you're going to put into it is going to be pretty much the same. So along with this linear formula, you're going to add an upcharge for what's it going to cost you differently to get the maple brought to you versus the walnut. The funny thing is you'll find that it's not that much more money to use nicer woods once you already have all this material on order. Even for bigger kitchens, you're going to find it's only a matter of maybe $1,000 difference in total cost for you. Now you can go with this in two different ways. You can give the customer the deal and only charge them what it actually costs you for the better material, or you could do like a lot of other companies and actually charge a little bit higher than what it's actually costing you. But the main thing is be honest, and be honest with your customer, be honest with yourself. Don't go all, man, they want walnut. Hee-haw, I'm going to charge them through the roof. Don't do that unless your product is going to be through the roof. It does not take you any more time to work with that walnut than it does with the maple. That is the main thing. You do not want your customer to feel at the end of the job that they paid too much for your product. A, you're never going to get a good response from them as far as telling their friends and neighbors. You'll never get more work from them. Now, sure, you might say, why do I want more work for them? I just made it big off their kitchen. Awesome. I don't like you. No, I'm kidding. I don't even know you. But if that's your thought, don't think like that. Don't be that person. Just give people honest, good stuff. Now, the same thing can go for furniture pieces. If you charge someone by the hour to build them a table, and you're not getting from A to B as efficiently or as quickly as most others are, your table is going to be overpriced. You do not want to give customers or clients overpriced workmanship. So hopefully what I was talking about made a little sense to you. If it did, let me know in the comment section below. Hit a like button down there, subscribe, all that stuff. We will see you next time on Doing It with Jason, Woodworking.